Mafia boss finds pregnant woman collapsed by the roadside on his trip. Dante Romano drove through the downtown district at 8 in the morning. Business meeting across town. Important deal. Time sensitive. His mind was on profit, territory, power. The usual concerns of a man who controlled half the city's underworld. Then he saw the crowd. 20 people, maybe more, standing in a circle, staring at something on the ground. Not helping, not moving, just watching. Like spectators at an accident. Curious, but unwilling to get involved. Something about it bothered Dante. He didn't know why, didn't understand the instinct. But he pulled over. Against his better judgment. Against his schedule. Against everything that told him to keep driving. Stay with the car, Dante told Marcus. His driver and bodyguard. I'll be right back. He pushed through the crowd. People parted, recognizing danger even if they didn't recognize him. Then Dante saw her. A woman. Collapsed on the sidewalk. Heavily pregnant. 8 months at least. Maybe more. Her clothes were worn. Thin. Cheap. Her face was gaunt. Malnourished. Exhausted beyond measure. Someone help her, Dante said. Loud. Commanding. The crowd looked at him. Then away. Nobody moved. Nobody wanted involvement. Nobody cared enough to risk inconvenience. I said help her, Dante repeated. Voice harder. Still nothing. These people would rather watch a pregnant woman die than miss their morning commute. Dante knelt beside her, checked her pulse. Weak. Fretty. Barely there. Her skin was cold. Clammy. Her breathing shallow. She was dying. Right here. On a public street. While dozens of people did nothing. Can you hear me? Dante asked. Gently. His tone completely different from moments before. What's your name? Can you tell me what happened? The woman's eyes fluttered open. Unfocused. Confused. She tried to speak. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Then finally, barely a whisper. My children. Need to get to work. Can't miss my shift. Dante's chest tightened. This woman was collapsing. Dying. And she was worried about work. About missing a shift. About children waiting for her. Not about herself. Not about survival. About responsibility she couldn't escape. Someone call an ambulance, Dante ordered. Looking at the crowd. Nobody moved. Nobody had phones out. Nobody wanted to be witness. To give statements. To be involved. Forget it, Dante muttered. He scooped the woman into his arms. Carefully. Mindful of her pregnant belly. She weighed nothing. Literally nothing. Like carrying a child. This woman had been starving herself. Working herself to death. Sacrificing everything. The crowd parted as Dante carried her to his car. Marcus saw him coming. Opened the back door immediately. No questions asked. Years of working together meant understanding without explanation. Hospital? Marcus asked. No, Dante replied. My estate. Call Dr. Santos. Tell him it's critical. Pregnant woman. Severe malnutrition. Possible complications. He meets us there in 20 minutes. Boss, a hospital would be slow, Dante interrupted. Would ask questions. Would involve bureaucracy this woman doesn't have time for. Santos. 20 minutes. Now. Marcus made the call. Dante held the woman in the back seat, keeping her stable, conscious, alive. She kept mumbling. Disjointed. Desperate. My children. Need to feed them. Work starts in 30 minutes. Can't lose this job. Already lost 2 this month. Need the money. Need to. Stop talking, Dante said gently. Save your strength. You're safe now. I'm taking you somewhere you'll get help. Can't afford help, the woman whispered. No insurance. No money. Just let me go. Need to get to work. Children need to eat. How many children? Dante asked, keeping her talking, keeping her conscious. 2, she replied. Voice breaking. Boy and girl. 4 and 6. So hungry. Always hungry. I feed them everything. Nothing left for me. But they're growing. Need nutrition. Need. She stopped. Gasping. Pain crossing her face. The baby? Dante asked urgently. Kicking. Hard. Hasn't moved much lately. So tired. Everything's tired. But can't stop. Can't rest. 5 jobs. 5. Still not enough. Never enough. Husband drinks it all. Everything I make. He drinks. And I work. And children go hungry. And I can't. Her voice broke. Tears streaming. Dante's hands clenched. 5 jobs. While pregnant. While starving. While her husband drank away their income. This woman was being destroyed. Systematically. By circumstances. By choices not her own. By a system that failed her completely. What's your name? Dante asked. Grace, the woman whispered. Grace Parker. Please. I need to get to work. Need to. Grace, you're not going to work, Dante said firmly. You're going to rest. Eat. Recover. Your baby needs you healthy. Your children need you alive. Work can wait. Can't wait, Grace argued. Weekly. Miss one shift, I'm fired. Already on warning. Already late too many times. Because of morning sickness. Because of exhaustion. They don't care. Nobody cares. Just work or starve. Those are the options. So I work. I always work. The car pulled into Dante's estate. Massive. Secure. More mansion than home. Grace's eyes widened. Confusion mixing with fear. Where are we? Who are you? I can't afford. You're not paying anything, Dante said, lifting her from the car. I'm helping you. That's all. No cost. No obligation. Just help. Dr. Santos was waiting. Professional. Efficient. He'd treated Dante's bullet wounds. His men's injuries. Now he was treating a pregnant woman who'd worked herself nearly to death. Get her inside, Santos ordered. I need to examine her immediately. This is bad. Really bad. They brought Grace to a guest room. Expensive. Clean. More luxury than she'd seen in years. Santos worked quickly, checking vitals, running tests. His expression grew grimmer with each finding. She's severely malnourished, Santos reported. Dehydrated. Anemic. Her body is shutting down. The baby's in distress. This woman should be on bed rest. Should have been for months. Instead, she's been working herself to death. 5 jobs, Dante said. While pregnant. While starving. She said her husband drinks away the money. Santos's face hardened. That explains the emotional trauma I'm seeing. The stress markers. This isn't just physical neglect. Someone's been abusing this woman. Systematically destroying her. Can you save her? Dante asked. And the baby? If she rests. If she eats. If she stops working. If she gets care. Yes. But she needs weeks of recovery. Maybe months. This damage didn't happen overnight. It won't heal overnight either. Grace stirred. Consciousness returning. She looked around. Panic setting in. Where am I? My children. Where are my children? I need to breathe, Dante said, sitting beside her. Your children are safe. We're going to bring them here. Make sure they're fed, cared for. You need to focus on recovery. I can't stay here, Grace protested. I have work. 5 jobs. Can't miss. Can't afford to. Rent's due. Food needs buying. Children need. Your children need their mother alive, Dante interrupted. Grace, you collapsed on a street. You almost died. Your baby almost died. You can't help your children if you're dead. So you're going to stay here. Rest. Recover. Let me help you. Why? Grace asked. Voice breaking. Why would you help me? Nobody helps. Nobody cares. I'm just another poor woman. Another statistic. Why do you care? Dante was quiet. He didn't have answer. Didn't understand his own motivation. He'd built an empire on ruthlessness. On calculated decisions. On never helping anyone without profit. But this woman. This sacrifice. This desperate love for her children. It moved something in him he'd thought was dead. Because someone should, Dante said finally. Because you collapsed on a street and 20 people did nothing. Because you're pregnant and starving and still worried about work instead of survival. Because that's wrong. Fundamentally wrong. And I can fix it. So I will. I can't pay you, Grace whispered. Can't repay this. Can't. I'm not asking for payment, Dante replied. I'm offering help. Accept it. For your children, if not for yourself. Grace closed her eyes. Tears streaming. Years of struggle. Of sacrifice. Of carrying everything alone. Finally, someone was offering to share the weight. Even if that someone was a stranger. Even if it made no sense. My children, Grace said. They're home alone. With my husband. He drinks. Gets angry. They're scared of him. Please. Bring them here. Make sure they're safe. Give me your address, Dante said. Already pulling out his phone. I'll send people I trust. Your children will be here within the hour. Federal safe. Protected. I promise. Grace gave the address. Then asked the question that terrified her. What about my husband? When he finds out I'm gone. When he realizes the children are gone. He'll be angry. He'll come looking. He'll learn that you're under my protection now, Dante said coldly. And that touching you or your children means facing consequences he can't imagine. Grace, I don't know your full story yet. Don't know what you've endured. But I know you're done enduring it. From now on, you're protected. You and your children. Completely. Permanently. No exceptions. Who are you? Grace asked, finally asking the question that mattered. Why do you have doctors on call? Why do you have people you can send to get my children? Why does your house look like a fortress? Who are you really? Dante considered lying. Considered protecting her from truth. Then decided she deserved honesty. My name is Dante Romano. I'm a businessman. A powerful one. My business isn't always legal. Sometimes it's dangerous. But I protect people under my care. Absolutely. Completely. Without exception. You saved me the trouble of deciding if you were worth protecting. You are. So now you're under my protection. Whether you like it or not. Grace stared at him. Processing. Understanding dawning. You're a criminal. Yes, Dante confirmed. I am. But I'm a criminal who just saved your life. Who's bringing your children to safety? Who's making sure your husband never hurts you again? So you decide. Trust the system that let you collapse on a street while people walked by. Or trust me, the criminal who actually helped. Grace looked at this dangerous man. This stranger. This person who'd done more for her in an hour than anyone had in years. She made her choice. Bring my children, Grace whispered. Please, bring them here. Keep them safe. I'll trust you. Because right now, you're the only person who's given me reason to. Dante nodded. Made calls. Within minutes, his most trusted men were en route to Grace's address. To collect her children. To bring them to safety. To begin dismantling the life that had been destroying her. And Grace Parker, the woman who'd worked 5 jobs while pregnant, who'd starved herself to feed her children, who'd collapsed on a street while people walked by, finally closed her eyes and rested. Because for the first time in years, someone else was carrying the weight. The mafia boss who'd stopped when everyone else had walked by was about to discover just how deep Grace's suffering went. And when he did, the man responsible would learn what happened when Dante Romano decided someone needed protecting. By tomorrow, Grace's husband would understand that ignoring a collapsed pregnant woman had consequences. That letting her work 5 jobs while he drank had consequences. That abusing the strongest woman Dante had ever met had consequences he couldn't escape. But for now, Grace slept. Her baby kicked. Dante's men arrived at Grace's address 30 minutes later. What they found made them call immediately. Boss, you need to hear this. The house. The conditions. The husband. This is worse than we thought. Dante put them on speaker. Grace was sleeping. Dr. Santos monitoring her closely. But Dante wanted evidence. Needed to understand what this woman had endured. Report, Dante commanded. The house is falling apart, Vincent said. Dante's most trusted man. Trash everywhere. No food in the kitchen. Nothing. The children are terrified. Hiding in their room. They haven't eaten in 2 days. The husband is passed out drunk on the couch. Empty bottles everywhere. The kids say their mother left for work this morning. Haven't seen her since. They're scared. Hungry. Boss, this is neglect. Serious neglect. Bring the children, Dante ordered. Now, don't wake the husband. Just take the kids and leave. If he wakes up, tell him nothing. Just get them out. What if he tries to stop us? Vincent asked. Then make him regret it, Dante replied coldly. Those children are coming here. Today. No exceptions. No delays. Move. 20 minutes later, Vincent arrived with 2 children. A boy and a girl. 6 and 4. Thin. Scared. Dirty. Wearing clothes too small. Shoes with holes. They clutched each other. Eyes wide with fear and confusion. Dante knelt to their level. Softening his expression. Hiding the rage building inside him. Hi. My name is Dante. Your mom asked me to bring you here. She's resting upstairs. She's safe. You're safe. Are you hungry? The little girl nodded. Tears in her eyes. Mommy didn't come home. We waited. We were scared. Daddy was sleeping. We couldn't wake him. We didn't know what to do. You don't have to be scared anymore, Dante said gently. Come with me. Let's get you food. Then you can see your mom. Okay. He led them to the kitchen. His chef was already preparing meals. Simple food. Nothing too rich for stomachs that had been empty too long. Soup. Bread. Fruit. Water. The children ate like they'd never seen food before. Desperate. Fast. Afraid it might disappear. Dante watched. His chest tight with anger. These babies had been starving. While their father drank. While their mother worked herself to death trying to feed them. This wasn't just neglect. This was cruelty. Systematic destruction of a family. When did you eat last? Dante asked gently. Yesterday morning, the boy said. Mommy gave us her breakfast. She said she already ate. But she didn't. She never eats. She always gives us her food. Then she goes to work. She's always working. Always tired. Always sad. Does your daddy work? Dante asked, knowing the answer but needing confirmation. No, the girl said. Daddy sleeps. And drinks. And yells at mommy. Says she doesn't work hard enough. Says she's lazy. But mommy works all the time. She leaves before we wake up. Comes home after we sleep. We barely see her. But when we do, she hugs us. Tells us she loves us. Gives us her food. Dante's hands clenched under the table. Grace had been working 5 jobs. Starving herself. Pregnant. Exhausted. And her husband called her lazy. Drank away their money. Let his children go hungry. This man deserved consequences that would make the devil nervous. After the children ate, Dante took them to see Grace. She was awake. Santos had given her 4 fluids. Nutrients. Medicine. She looked slightly better. Color returning. Strength building. Then she saw her children. Her face crumbled. Babies, Grace whispered. Arms opening. The children ran to her. Carefully. Aware of her pregnant belly. They hugged her. Crying. Relieved. Safe for the first time in forever. Mommy, we were so scared, the girl said. You didn't come home. Daddy wouldn't wake up. We thought something bad happened. Something bad did happen, Grace admitted. Holding them close. Mommy got very sick. Mr. Dante helped me. Brought me here. Now you're here too. We're all safe. All together. Are we staying here? The boy asked. Looking around the luxurious room. Is this our new house? For now, Grace said. Looking at Dante. Uncertain. If Mr. Dante says it's okay. It's okay, Dante confirmed. You're staying as long as you need. All of you. Your children will be fed. Clothed. Cared for. You'll rest. Recover. Have your baby safely. No more 5 jobs. No more starving. No more collapsing on streets. That life is over. My husband, Grace said quietly. Children in her arms. He'll come looking. When he wakes up. When he realizes we're gone. He'll be angry. He'll demand we come back. He'll say we're his property. His family. He'll learn otherwise, Dante interrupted. Grace, I sent my men to your house. They saw the conditions. The empty kitchen. The filth. The neglect. They documented everything. Your husband has no grounds to demand anything. Not after what he's done. Not after what he's failed to do. The law won't care, Grace said bitterly. I've tried before. Called social services. Police. Everyone. They said I had no proof. Said my husband has rights. Said I couldn't just take the children and leave. The system protects him. Not us. It always protects him. The system failed you, Dante agreed. But I won't. Your husband wants his family back. He goes through me. And Grace, I promise you he won't win that fight. Grace's phone rang. Everyone froze. She looked at the screen. Her face went white. It's him. My husband. He's awake. He's calling. Answer it, Dante said. Put it on speaker. Let's hear what he has to say. Grace answered with shaking hands. Hello. Where are you? Her husband's voice exploded through the speaker. Drunk. Angry. Violent. Where are my kids? You took them? You stole my children. They're with me, Grace said. Voice trembling, but firm. They're safe. Federal. That's more than you've done in months. You bring them home right now, he roared. You hear me? Right now. Or I'll call the police. Report you for kidnapping. For abandonment. You'll go to jail. Lose custody. I'll make sure you never see them again. You don't work, Grace said. Years of suppressed anger breaking through. You don't provide. You drink away every dollar I make. Our children were starving. I collapsed on a street from exhaustion. From malnutrition. Because I've been working 5 jobs trying to keep us alive while you drink. And you're threatening me? You're claiming I'm the bad parent. I'm their father, the husband screamed. I have rights. The law is on my side. You can't just leave. Can't just take them. You're my wife. They're my kids. My property. Mine. Dante took the phone. His voice was ice. She's not your property. Neither are the children. And if you come looking for them, if you threaten her again, if you try to use the law to hurt this family, you'll discover that I don't care about the law. I care about protection. And Grace Parker is under my protection now. Permanently. Understand. Silence. Then, who are you? You're with my wife? You're sleeping with her? Is that what this is? She's cheating and stealing my kids. I'm the man who saved her life, Dante replied. When she collapsed on a street. While people like you let her work herself to death. I'm the man who's feeding your starving children. Who's protecting your pregnant wife from stress that's killing her? I'm the man who's doing your job. Because you're too drunk and pathetic to do it yourself. I'll kill you, the husband threatened. I'll find you. You'll do nothing, Dante interrupted. Because you're a coward who hits women and neglects children. And men like you don't scare me. They disgust me. Grace, your children, and your unborn baby are mine to protect now. You lost that privilege when you let them starve. When you drank instead of provided. When you destroyed instead of built. Consider this your final warning. Stay away, or face consequences. He hung up. Grace was crying. Relief and terror mixing. He'll come. He always comes. When he's angry, he's dangerous. He'll try to take them back. Try to hurt me. Try to. He'll try, Dante agreed. And he'll fail. Grace, your husband thinks the law protects him. That his rights as father and husband trump everything. He's wrong. I've dealt with men like him my entire life. Men who use systems to abuse. Who hide behind legality while committing cruelty. I know how to stop them. Permanently. How? Grace asked. Desperate. How do you stop someone the law protects? By exposing what the law ignores, Dante replied. Your husband's not just negligent. He's criminal. Fraud. Theft. Debts unpaid. Enemies made. I'll find everything. Document everything. Build case so strong that no corrupt judge can ignore it. Then I'll make sure he faces consequences. Real consequences. Legal ones that destroy his credibility. His rights. His ability to hurt you ever again. Vincent entered. Boss, the husband just posted on social media, claiming his wife kidnapped their children. Asking for help finding them. Playing victim. It's getting attention. Screenshot everything, Dante ordered. Document his claims. Then release the truth. Photos of the house. Empty kitchen. Neglected children. His bar tabs. His unemployment. Let the public see who the real victim is. Grace worked 5 jobs while pregnant. He drank. The truth speaks louder than his lies. The neighbors, Grace said suddenly. They know. They've seen everything. Years of watching me struggle. Watching him drink. They've tried to help. Offered food. Called services. Nothing changed. But they're witnesses. They can testify. Then we'll use them, Dante said. Build case using community. Using evidence. Using truth. Your husband wants to play victim? We'll show the world who the real monster is. Over the next week, Dante's organization worked methodically, interviewing neighbors, documenting the house's condition, gathering evidence of the husband's drinking, his debts, his complete failure as father and husband, building an unshakable case. Grace recovered slowly, eating, resting, gaining strength. Her children thrived. Proper meals, clean clothes, safety. They laughed, played, became children again instead of terrified survivors. And Grace watched this criminal, this dangerous man, this stranger who'd saved her family. She watched him play with her children, speak gently to them, ensure they felt safe, protected, valued. Why are you really doing this? Grace asked one evening. Children asleep. Just her and Dante. You could have left me on that street. Could have called an ambulance and forgotten about me. Instead, you've upended your life. Taken in my family. Declared war on my husband. What? Dante was quiet. Then honest. Because I saw you collapse. Saw people walk by. Saw you worried about work instead of survival. And something in me broke. I've spent 20 years building power. Using it for profit. For control. For empire. Then I saw you. This woman who'd given everything. Sacrificed everything. And nobody cared. Grace, you reminded me that power should protect. That strength means defending those who can't defend themselves. You're the strongest person I've ever met. You deserve someone fighting for you the way you fight for your children. Grace's eyes filled with tears. I'm not strong. I'm broken. Exhausted. Barely surviving. You're surviving despite impossible circumstances, Dante corrected. That's the definition of strength. Grace, most people would have given up. Would have abandoned their children. Would have chosen easier path. You chose sacrifice. Chose suffering if it meant your children ate. That's heroic. That's rare. That's worth protecting. I think I'm falling for you, Grace whispered. I know it's crazy. Too fast. Too complicated. But you've shown me kindness I'd forgotten existed. Protection I've never had. Care I thought was impossible. Dante, you're saving my life. How do I not fall for that? You don't, Dante admitted. And Grace, I'm falling too. For your strength. Your sacrifice. Your refusal to quit despite everything. You're extraordinary. But you're also recovering. Vulnerable. I won't take advantage of that. When you're stronger, when you're safe, when you're ready, then we'll see what this is, what it could become. Grace nodded. After the baby, after I'm healed, after my husband can't hurt us anymore, then we'll figure this out. Then we'll figure this out, Dante agreed. But neither knew that Grace's husband was planning something desperate, something dangerous, something that would force them to confront their feelings faster than expected. Grace's husband showed up at the estate 3 days later. Drunk, furious, desperate. He'd tracked them somehow, found the address, brought backup. 3 friends, equally drunk, equally angry, equally stupid. Dante's security stopped them at the gate. Professional, calm, armed but not threatening. Yet, this is private property, the lead guard said. Turn around. Leave. Or we call police. My wife is in there, Grace's husband screamed. His name was Derek Parker. 35 years old. Unemployed. Alcoholic. Abuser. My kids. My family. You're keeping them prisoner. That's kidnapping. I have rights. You have the right to leave, the guard replied. Before this becomes criminal trespassing. Sir, you're drunk. You're disturbing the peace. And you're on camera making threats. Walk away while you still can. Derek lunged at the gate, trying to climb. His friends followed. Pathetic attempt. Security didn't even move. Just watched. Documented. Let Derek make fool of himself. Inside the estate, Dante watched the security footage. Grace beside him, watching her husband's drunken rage. Her face was mixture of fear and disgust. Years of this. Years of his violence. His failures. His cruelty. He looks desperate, Grace said quietly. Desperate men are dangerous. Dante, he'll try something. Something stupid. Something that hurts people. I know him. When he's cornered, when he's losing control, he becomes worse. He becomes monster. Then we'll deal with the monster, Dante replied. Grace, your husband has no legal standing. No custody rights. No power here. He's drunk. Trespassing. Making threats on camera. He's destroying whatever case he might have had. Let him. What if he doesn't stop? Grace asked. What if he comes back with weapons? With more people? With real threat? Then we respond appropriately, Dante said. His voice cold. I've handled threats my entire life. Your husband is amateur. Dangerous to you because you were vulnerable. But you're not vulnerable anymore. You're protected. He can rage all he wants. He can't reach you. Can't hurt you. Can't touch your children. That power he had over you? Gone. Permanently. Security escorted Derek and his friends off the property. They left yelling threats, promising to return, claiming they'd call police, lawyers, media, anyone who would listen. Empty threats from empty men. But Derek wasn't done. The next day, he filed emergency custody petition, claimed Grace had abandoned the family, kidnapped the children, was living with dangerous criminal, using her pregnancy to manipulate sympathy. His lawyer presented the case to a judge who'd been paid, who had history of favoring fathers, who believed men over women. The court issued order. Grace had 48 hours to return children to Derek's custody or face arrest. Face charges. Face losing her children permanently. Grace collapsed when she heard. Panic attack. Hyperventilating. Everything she'd feared happening. The system protecting her abuser again. Giving him power to destroy her again. I have to go back, Grace said through tears. Have to take the children back. The court ordered it. If I don't comply, I'm the criminal. I'm the one who loses everything. Dante, I can't fight this. Can't win against the system. It's designed to protect men like Derek, not women like me. You're not going back, Dante said firmly. And neither are your children. Grace, this judge is corrupt. We have evidence. We have documentation. We're filing emergency appeal. Getting different judge. One who actually follows law instead of bribes. That takes time, Grace argued. Time we don't have. 48 hours. Then police come. Then they take my children. Force them back to that house. That nightmare. Dante, they'll be hungry again. Scared again. And I can't protect them if I'm arrested. Then we don't wait for the system, Dante said. Making decision. We expose the corruption. Now. Today. All of it. The judge's bribes. Derek's criminal history. The neighbor's testimony. Everything. We flood the media. Make this public. Make it impossible for corrupt judge to hide. That's risky, Vincent warned. Boss, going public means exposing our involvement. Means questions about how you got this information. About why you're protecting Grace. About your organization. Could bring attention we don't want. I don't care, Dante replied. Grace and her children matter more than my privacy, more than my comfort. She's been sacrificing for years. Time I sacrifice something too. Make the calls. Contact every media outlet. Tell them we have story about judicial corruption, about abusive father using system to terrorize family, about woman who worked 5 jobs while pregnant just to feed her children. Make it national. Make it unavoidable. Within hours, the story broke. Every major news outlet. Social media exploding. Photos of Grace's old house. Empty kitchen. Neglected conditions. Derek's bar tabs. His unemployment history. His abuse documented by neighbors. The corrupt judge's connection to Derek's lawyer. Everything exposed. Raw. Undeniable. Devastating. Public outrage was immediate. Massive. How could a judge order children back to that house? How could the system protect an abusive alcoholic father over a working mother? How could this happen? The judge tried to defend his decision. Claimed he'd followed proper procedure. Had no knowledge of the conditions. Was just enforcing parental rights. Nobody believed him. The evidence was too strong. The corruption too obvious. Within 24 hours, the judge was suspended. Investigation launched. Derek's custody petition denied. Restraining order issued against him. He was forbidden from contacting Grace, from approaching the children, from making any custody claims until full investigation completed. Derek's response was predictable. He showed up at the estate again. More drunk, more angry, more desperate. But this time he came armed. A pistol. Stolen from somewhere. Likely illegal. Definitely dangerous. Grace. Derek screamed at the gates. You destroyed me. Turned everyone against me. Made me look like monster. You're going to pay. You and those brats. And whoever's protecting you. You're all going to pay. Security responded immediately. But Derek was beyond reason. He fired the gun. Wild. Uncontrolled. Bullets hitting the gate. The wall. Nowhere close to actually hitting anyone, but terrifying nonetheless. Grace heard the gunfire. Screamed. Her children started crying. Terrified. This was their father. The man who should protect them. Instead, he was attacking. Threatening. Trying to hurt them. Dante moved fast. Got Grace and the children to secure room. Deep inside the estate. Reinforced. Safe. Then he went to handle Derek. Personally. Stand down. Dante commanded his security. Nobody shoots. Nobody engages. This man is desperate. Dangerous. But he's also Grace's children's father. We don't kill him unless absolutely necessary. I'll handle this. Boss, he's armed, Vincent protested. Let us neutralize the threat. I said I'll handle it, Dante repeated. Voice steel. Open the gate. Let him in. But have sharpshooters ready. If he aims at me, if he aims at anyone, you take the shot. But only if necessary. Understood. The gate opened. Derek stumbled through. Gun waving. Drunk. Unstable. He saw Dante standing there. Unarmed. Calm. Waiting. You, Derek spat. You're the one. The one who stole my family. Who turned them against me. Who destroyed my life. I'm going to kill you. Then I'm taking my family back. You destroyed your own life, Dante replied. Calm. Unafraid. You drank instead of worked. Neglected instead of provided. Abused instead of protected. Derek, your family didn't leave you. They escaped you. There's a difference. She's my wife, Derek screamed. Those are my kids. Mine. You can't just take them. I didn't take them, Dante corrected. I saved them. From starvation. From neglect. From you. Derek, when I found Grace, she'd collapsed on a street. Pregnant. Malnourished. Working 5 jobs trying to keep your children alive while you drank away every dollar. Your children were hungry. Terrified. Living in filth. That's not family. That's abuse. And it's over. I'll decide when it's over, Derek roared. Raising the gun. Pointing it at Dante. Finger on trigger. One squeeze away from murder. Then decide, Dante said. Not moving. Not flinching. Pull that trigger. Kill me. Then what? You get arrested. Prison. Never see your children again. Never get your family back. Or you lower the gun. Get help. Face reality. Your choice. Derek's hand shook. Tears streaming down his drunk face. She was supposed to obey me. Support me. Be grateful I married her. Instead she left. Took my kids. Humiliated me publicly. Everyone knows now. Everyone sees what a failure I am. That's her fault. All her fault. It's your fault, Dante said firmly. Every decision. Every drink. Every moment you chose alcohol over responsibility. That was you, not Grace. She tried to hold everything together while you tore it apart. Derek, you're not the victim here. You're the villain. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can maybe, possibly, become someone your children don't fear. They should respect me, Derek argued. I'm their father. Respect is earned, Dante replied. Not demanded. You want your children's respect? Stop drinking. Get job. Get therapy. Become someone worth respecting. Until then, you're just drunk man waving gun, threatening people who've done nothing but protect innocent kids from your failures. Derek's gun wavered, lowered slightly, confusion and rage warring on his face. I want my family back. You can't have them, Dante said. Not like this. Not as you are. Derek, Grace is filing for divorce. Full custody. Restraining order. It's over. Your marriage. Your control. Your abuse. All over. You can accept that with dignity. Or you can keep fighting and lose everything including your freedom. Your choice. Derek raised the gun again. Dante's sharpshooters tensed. Ready. Waiting for the shot. For permission. For Derek to make fatal mistake. Then Derek dropped the gun. Collapsed to his knees. Sobbing. I've lost everything. Everything. What am I supposed to do now? Get sober, Dante said. Get help. Become better. Maybe someday, years from now, when you've proven you've changed, your children will give you second chance. Maybe Grace will forgive you. But that's years away. Right now, you leave. Get treatment. Face consequences. And never threaten this family again. Police arrived. They'd been called when Derek fired shots. They arrested him. Illegal weapon. Assault. Terroristic threats. Trespassing. Derek was going to jail. For a long time. Long enough for Grace to rebuild. To heal. To become free. Grace watched from window. Saw Derek taken away. Handcuffed. Broken. The man who'd controlled her for years. Finally facing consequences. Finally powerless. Finally gone. She turned to Dante. Thank you. For not killing him. For giving him chance to surrender. For handling it without more violence. My children's father is monster. But he's still their father. I didn't want them growing up knowing he died violently. Even after everything he did. He doesn't deserve your mercy, Dante said. But you gave it anyway. Grace, that's who you are. Compassionate even to those who hurt you. That's extraordinary. Or foolish, Grace replied. I don't know anymore. I just know I'm tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of being scared. Tired of everything. Then rest, Dante said gently. It's over. Derek's in custody. Judge is suspended. Your children are safe. You can finally rest. Really rest. Without fear. Without struggle. Just peace. Grace looked at him. This criminal who'd saved her. Who'd protected her children. Who'd faced down her armed husband without flinching. Who'd given her family future she'd thought impossible. I love you, Grace said. Simply. Honestly. I know it's too soon. Too complicated. But I love you. For everything you've done. Everything you are. Dante, you're the best man I've ever known. Criminal or not. Dante pulled her close. Gentle. Mindful of her pregnant belly. I love you too. Grace Parker, you're the strongest person I've ever met. And I'm going to spend rest of my life making sure you never have to be that strong alone again. 3 months after Derek's arrest, Grace went into labor. Not in chaos. Not in fear. Not alone. She was surrounded by safety. By care. By Dante holding her hand through every contraction. Breathe, Dante said. Calm despite his own nervousness. Just like Dr. Santos taught you. You're doing amazing. Almost there. Grace screamed through another contraction. Pain overwhelming. But different from her previous births. This time she had proper medical care. Professional support. Someone who loved her beside her. Not absent husband. Not neglectful partner. Dante. Present. Supportive. Real. I can see the head, Santos announced. One more push. Big one. You've got this. Grace pushed with everything she had. Exhausted. Determined. Then crying. Baby crying. Beautiful sound. New life entering the world. Safe. Wanted. Protected. It's a girl, Santos said, placing the baby on Grace's chest. Healthy. Strong. Perfect. Grace sobbed, holding her daughter. Her third child. Her miracle. The baby she'd almost lost. The baby she'd starved for. The baby that had survived despite impossible circumstances. She's beautiful, Dante whispered, looking at the tiny life. Overwhelmed with emotion he'd never expected to feel. Grace, she's perfect. You did it. You brought her into this world. You're incredible. We did it, Grace corrected. I couldn't have survived this pregnancy without you. Without your help. Without your protection. Dante, you saved 3 lives that day you stopped for me. Mine. Hers. And my own because you gave me reason to keep living. They named her Hope. Because that's what she represented. Hope for better future. Hope for healing. Hope that even impossible situations could transform into something beautiful. Grace's older children met their sister hours later. Carefully. Excited. The boy who'd been 6 was now 7. The girl who'd been 4 was now 5. Both healthy. Happy. Thriving in ways they never had before. She's so tiny, the girl whispered, touching Hope's little hand. Is she going to stay with us? Forever. Forever, Grace confirmed. We're a family. All of us. Nobody's taking anyone away. We're together. Always. Is Mr. Dante our daddy now? The boy asked. Direct. Child logic. Our real daddy is in jail. He was mean. Mr. Dante is nice. Can he be our daddy instead? Grace looked at Dante, uncertain how to answer. They'd been careful, not pushing relationship while she recovered, not forcing anything, just building trust, building connection, building foundation. That's up to your mom, Dante said gently. And up to you. I care about you. About your sisters. About your mom. Very much. If you want me in your life, I'm here. As much or as little as you're comfortable with. I want you to be our daddy, the boy decided. You protect us. Feed us. Play with us. Read us stories. That's what daddies should do. Our real daddy never did that. So yeah, you can be our daddy. If that's okay with mommy. Grace's eyes filled with tears. We'll talk about it. As a family. When mommy's feeling better. But yes, Mr. Dante is very important to us. To all of us. Over the following months, their family evolved. Grace healed from childbirth. Regained strength. Started working for Dante's legitimate businesses. Not 5 jobs. 1 job. Reasonable hours. Fair pay. Using her intelligence. Her organizational skills. Her determination that had kept her surviving now used for thriving. Derek was sentenced to 5 years. Assault with deadly weapon. Illegal firearm possession. Child neglect. The evidence was overwhelming. The judge unsympathetic. Derek would serve full sentence. No early release. No parole. 5 years minimum. Grace filed for divorce. Uncontested. Derek signed everything from prison, knowing he had no choice. No leverage. No power. Full custody to Grace. 0 visitation rights until children were 18 and could choose. Restraining order permanent. Marriage dissolved. Grace was finally free. How does it feel? Dante asked one evening. Divorce papers finalized. Official. Legal. Done. Being free. Really free. Terrifying, Grace admitted. I've been married since I was 19. Didn't know who I was without him. Without the struggle. Without the fight. Now I'm divorced. Single mother of 3. Starting completely over. It's overwhelming. You're not single, Dante said. Not unless you want to be. Grace, I've been waiting. Giving you space. Letting you heal. But I need you to know. I love you. Completely. I want to build life with you. Family with you. Future with you. If you'll have me. You want to marry me? Grace asked. Shocked. Dante, I'm divorced single mother with 3 kids. I collapsed on a street. I was nothing. Nobody. Why would you want that? Because you're everything, Dante replied. You're the strongest person I've met. Most dedicated mother. Most resilient survivor. Grace, you worked 5 jobs while pregnant. Starved yourself to feed your children. Kept going when anyone else would have quit. That's extraordinary. That's exactly who I want beside me. Always. Grace started crying. I love you too. So much. You saved my life. Gave my children future. Showed me what real partnership looks like. Yes. Yes, I'll marry you. I'll build this life with you. Gladly. Gratefully. They married 6 months later. Small ceremony. Just family. Grace's children. Dante's closest people. Dr. Santos who'd saved her life. Vincent who'd rescued her children. The neighbors who'd testified against Derek. Everyone who'd helped them survive now celebrating them thriving. Grace's children called Dante Dad now. Naturally. Easily. He'd earned the title. Through consistency. Through presence. Through being everything their biological father hadn't been. Loving. Supportive. Protective. Present. Hope grew. Healthy. Beautiful. Never knowing hunger. Never knowing fear. Never knowing anything but love and safety. The baby who'd almost died in the womb now thriving. Laughing. Bringing joy. And Grace transformed. From collapsing pregnant woman to confident wife. From desperate survivor to successful businesswoman. From invisible to valued. She managed Dante's legitimate operations. Expanded them. Used her experience with struggle to help others struggling. Created programs helping single mothers. Supporting abused women. Providing resources the system ignored. We should open shelter, Grace said one evening. Planning with Dante. For women like I was. Working multiple jobs. Trapped in abusive situations. Pregnant with nowhere to go. Give them safety. Resources. Path forward. Use your money for something that matters. Our money, Dante corrected. We're partners. Equal. And yes, let's do it. Build something that helps people. That changes lives. Grace, you've already changed mine. Let's change others together. They opened the shelter a year after Hope's birth. Grace House, named for its founder. Funded by Dante's empire. Staffed by professionals who understood trauma. Who believed survivors. Who provided real help. Not bureaucracy. Not judgment. Just support. Women came. Desperate. Broken. Just like Grace had been. They found safety. Found resources. Found hope. Many transformed. Got jobs. Left abusers. Rebuilt lives. All because Grace understood their struggle. Had lived it. Had survived it. Could guide them through it. 2 years after the collapse that changed everything, Grace stood in Grace House. Watching women she'd helped. Mothers feeding children without fear. Women working single jobs instead of 5. Families healing. Surviving. Thriving. Dante found her there. Thinking deep thoughts. Thinking about how different my life is, Grace replied. 2 years ago, I was collapsing on a street. Dying. Convinced I'd never escape. Never survive. Never have anything better. Now look at this. Look at what we built. How many lives we've changed. Dante, that collapse was the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that happened to me too. Dante agreed. I was driving to business meeting. Focused on profit. On power. On empire. Then I saw you. And everything changed. You reminded me that power should protect. That strength means helping those who can't help themselves. Grace, you made me better. Made my life meaningful. That's everything. We made each other better, Grace corrected, turning in his arms. You gave me safety. I gave you purpose. Together, we're building something neither could build alone. That's partnership. That's love. That's what matters. They kissed. Deep. Real. Full of gratitude and promise. 2 people who'd saved each other. Who'd built family from tragedy. Who'd transformed pain into purpose. Grace's oldest children were in good schools now. Thriving. The boy wanted to be doctor like Santos. The girl wanted to help people like her mom. Both were kind. Confident. Loved. Everything they hadn't been before. Hope was walking. Talking. Calling Dante Dada, without confusion. She'd never know her biological father. Never know hunger. Never know fear. Just love. Just safety. Just family. And Derek served his sentence. Alone. He'd written letters. Apologizing. Claiming he'd changed. Claiming he deserved forgiveness. Grace didn't respond. Didn't know him anything. She'd moved forward. Built new life. Let the past stay buried where it belonged. 5 years after that roadside collapse, Grace and Dante stood on the balcony of their home, watching the city below. The city where she'd almost died. The city where she'd been reborn. Do you ever regret it? Dante asked. Everything that happened. The struggle. The pain. The collapse. Never, Grace said firmly. That collapse brought me here. To you. To this family. To this life. To this purpose. If I hadn't collapsed, if people hadn't walked by, if you hadn't stopped, I'd probably be dead. Or still trapped. Still struggling. Still slowly dying. Instead, I'm here. Happy. Safe. Loved. Free. That collapse was salvation. Strange as that sounds. I understand completely, Dante said. That day changed my life too. Gave me purpose beyond profit. Showed me what power should do. Protect. Help. Transform. Grace, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. You and our children. This family. This life. It's everything. We're everything, Grace corrected. Together. Always. Years later, when people asked Grace about her story, she always told the truth. I collapsed on a street. Pregnant. Starving. Working 5 jobs trying to feed my children while my husband drank. 20 people walked by. Ignored me. Left me dying. Then one man stopped. A criminal. Someone I should have feared. Instead, he saved my life. Changed my life. Became my life. That man is my husband now. father to my children, partner in everything. Proof that salvation comes from unexpected places. That help exists when you've given up hope. That sometimes hitting rock bottom is the first step to building something beautiful. Dante's version was simpler. I saw a pregnant woman collapse. Everyone ignored her. I couldn't. I stopped, helped, and she changed everything. Grace reminded me that power without purpose is empty. That strength means protecting the vulnerable. She made me better, made my life meaningful. That roadside collapse was the best detour I ever took. The mafia boss who'd found a pregnant woman collapsed by the roadside had gained a family, a purpose, a reason to be more than just powerful. And the woman who'd worked 5 jobs while pregnant had found protection, partnership, proof that sacrifice and suffering could transform into something beautiful. Together they'd built empire of care, shelter that saved lives, family that thrived, love that conquered impossible circumstances. All because one man had stopped when everyone else walked by. All because one woman had survived when survival seemed impossible. Their story became legend. Proof that compassion matters. That stopping to help can change lives. That even the darkest circumstances can transform into light. That family isn't just blood. It's choice. Connection. Love that chooses to stay when everything says leave. And Grace Parker Romano, the woman who'd collapsed on a roadside, stood strong. Healthy. Happy. Free. Proof that sometimes the end of one life is the beginning of something infinitely better. This story proves that true strength means never giving up on your children. That compassion can come from unexpected sources, and that one moment of kindness can transform multiple lives forever. If this moved you, subscribe for more powerful stories of survival, redemption, and unexpected love. Comment below about a time someone helped you when nobody else would. And share this with anyone who needs to know that hitting rock bottom can be the first step to building something beautiful. Your struggle matters. Your survival matters. And help exists in the most unexpected places. Thank you for watching.